Hi loves, it's Lois Addah. In today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to make a wide leg palazzo pant step by step using a simple sewing techniques. This tutorial is simple and beginner friendly, and it is perfect for someone who is sewing for herself or someone who wants to sew to sell. Make sure you watch till the end so that you don't miss out on any important tips. Let's get started. So we are using this Ankara fabric for this project. So we are going to use the thigh circumference as our measurement for the front part of the trouser. Okay, so her thigh circumference is 30 divided by 2, which is giving us 15 inches. So 15 inches, we added 2 inches seam allowance, which gave us 17 inches. So what we have on the table is 17 inches. So after getting the fabric folded into two, we drew the starting line and placed our tape from -1.5 because of the elastic waistband that we are going to fix. So we are going to make a casing of 1.5. So from there we took the crotch length of 9 inches. Our crotch length is 9 inches, so we may do with 10 inches because it is a free pant. And then we took the full length of the trouser to be 39 inches plus 2 inches seam allowance. Next, we are going to get our knee length. So from the crotch length to the full length of the trouser is 29 inches. 29 inches divided by 2 is giving us 14.5. So after marking 14.5, place your tape at that point of 14.5 and go up by 2 inches, which is giving us total of 16.5 from the full length. So I'm marking 16.5, 16.5 to draw a straight line. So after drawing the straight line all the way down, the next thing we are going to do is to go to the crotch line. So on that crotch line, we are going to mark 1 inch for seam allowance. After marking the 1 inch, we are going to divide our hip circumference by 4. Our hip is 46 divided by 4, which gives us 11.5. So from that allowance, I'm going to mark 11.5. So 11.5 plus the 1 inch seam allowance is giving us 12.5. So I'm going to mark 12 inches at the top. Okay, so just remove half an inch from whatever you get on that crotch line to mark at the waist area. So that waist area 12 inches at the crotch line, total 12.5, and then we drew a straight line. Next, we are going to divide her thigh by 2. Her thigh is 30 divided by 2, which gives us 15. So from the seam allowance line, we marked 15 inches and then we made a curve at that point with my armhole curve. So after that, we are going to measure again our thigh circumference, which is 15, excluding the seam allowance. So 15 divided by 2 gives us 7.5. Okay, so that 7.5 is what we marked from the knee length all the way down to the allowance of the full length of the trouser. Her knee circumference is 25.5 divided by 2, which is giving us 12.75. So we are going to fold our tape on that 12.75 and divide. So we got 638. So we are marking 638 on both sides. So whatever we marked at that knee circumference, that is exactly what we are going to mark at the hem of the trouser. So we are placing our tape at 0.638 at the midpoint, and then we marked the both sides. After that, we are going to use our pant curve to connect the lines. You see, from that crotch extension to the knee, then use your straight ruler to connect a straight line down to the full length of the trouser. After that, go to the side. Now at the upper part, I went inwards by 1 inch from that starting line, the waist area. I went in by 1 inch. Then from that 1 inch, I connected it to the hip circumference of the allowance we added. So from the allowance to the hip and from the hip to the knee circumference that we marked, and then use your pattern master to draw a straight line all the way down to the full length of the trouser. So after doing that, we are going to go to that crotch line area, that crotch depth, come down by half an inch, and at the side go up by half an inch. That is our sewing allowance. So I will connect it. While cutting, I will not remove the half an inch we went down by. Okay, so it is time for us to cut what we have all out. So after cutting, we are going to fold to cut for the back panel. So to cut for the back panel, we folded our fabric into two. After folding into two, we measured it, we have 19 inches, and then we came down by 2 inches and drew a straight line. So that point of 2 inches becomes our starting point. Remember, we have to place our front panel on the back panel in order for us to add our allowances. So after arranging it very well on the back panel, we are now going to do our crotch extension for the back. So from that crotch line, okay, I drew a straight line. From that line, come down by half an inch. So invariably that line is not straight, okay. So next, from the upper part of the trouser, from the waist, look at what I did. I marked the actual length of the trouser. I had to mark 1.5, and then going down I marked the quarter at that curve area. I'm going to use a straight ruler to connect it all the way up. So after connecting it all the way up, I am going to mark my butt rise, okay. So use your arm hook off to connect that curvy area to that crotch extension, okay. So this is how you are going to curve it. So after curving it, we are going to take our crotch extension now, which is hip divide by 2 without the seam allowance. So the hip is 11.5, divide it by 2 and mark the midpoint just the way I am marking it. After marking that midpoint, place your tape at that midpoint, mark 11.5 again. So whatever your hip circumference is, mark it at that point. Then add your 2 inches seam allowance down to the hem of the trouser. Then I'll use my ruler to connect it. So from the upper part, I will take my butt rise and then connect it just the way you see me do. So after connecting, it is time for us to cut what we have all out. So if you've watched up to this point, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you will not miss out on any of our videos. So after cutting, we are going to separate the back from that of the front. So this is the front on the table. So we are going to remove that half an inch that we came down at that crotch length, okay. So after removing it, this is what we have. So it is time for us to fix our pockets. So for us to mark for the pockets, we are going to use our tape to measure by the side 2 inches by 7 inches, okay. So mark your 7 inches just the way I marked and then connect the line. So that will be the pocket opening. So for the material we are using for the pocket, we are doing unfold 7 inches by 14 inches. So the wideness is 7 unfold while the length is 14 inches unfold as well. So we are going to place our trouser on top of the pocket just the way I did. Then we are going to mark or shape the pocket exactly the curve that the trouser itself is having, okay. So arrange it very well and then shape it just exactly the way the trouser is. So after shaping it very well, we are going to remark the pocket opening from the front side. Remember, what you do for the hand side is what you are going to do for the left hand side, okay. So after shaping, this is what we have. So just place the one you've shaped to shape the second pocket. So after shaping, we are going to cut the pocket opening that we marked earlier, but this time we are going to mark it from the right side, okay. That side I marked is the down part so that you will not turn it upside down. So this is it, guys. So I'm going to place the trouser, the side of the trouser, just the way we shape it, okay. Place it on it, then take your pocket opening. The pocket opening is 2 inches by 7. So I'm going to use my tape to measure 2 inches by 7. 2 inches at the top by 7 inches at the downside. So then I'm going to use my hand to connect it. You can use your French curve, whatever curve you want to connect. Pick the trouser itself and one of the pockets, okay. Then you have to cut it. Remember, the trouser on the front side while the pocket is folded using the back side, so that by the time you cut, you will have the front side, okay, of the pocket. So I had to cut the other part as well. So after cutting, I'm going to pin all the things I have cut. so that we are going to go into the sewing process. We are not going to cut the band yet because it's after joining the sides that we are going to talk about the band. So we have both the front and the back panel. Okay, so it is time for us to sew what we have. So for us to sew what we have, we are going to work on the back panel first of all. Arrange the two legs very well. Okay, the two parts of the trouser for the back. Sew that crotch line with 1/2 inch. Press open it. So this is the front panel with the pocket. So we are going to place one aside, and then to sew the pocket we are going to use bias to sew the mouth of the pocket. So see how I'm placing it. Place the bias on top of the pocket. Okay, sew it and then flip it inwards. Okay, after sewing it, the next thing is to iron it very well, and then I'm going to use pin to secure the upper part. Just the way I secure that upper part, that is exactly how I'm going to use my sewing machine to run at that top area. Then after sewing, I will raise the pocket up, you see. So that downside of the pocket, we are going to use sewing machine to sew it, and then sew the side of the trouser with the pocket. So after that, we are going to do the same for the other parts, and then join the two legs together, and then we are going to sew the crotch line. We'll iron it and bring it and show. So after sewing the sides, this is what we have. Okay, this is the back panel. We are done sewing the crotch line. This is the front panel. So that's the pocket opening. See how beautiful it is. We've also sewn the downside. So we are going to place right side facing each other, and then we are going to use our sewing machine to sew 1/2 inch all the way down, and then sew the other side as well. After sewing, we are going to use our locking machine to lock the stitches, and then we are going to sew the inner side as well. So join it very well, and then sew 1/2 inch downwards from the right side, and then sew 1/2 inch downwards from the left side. So after sewing it, we are going to use our tape to measure the waist circumference, because that is what we are using to cut the band, and then we are going to fold the downside. We'll bring it and show you. Well, after joining the two sides, this is what we have. We are done with the trouser. It's time for us to put our waistband. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to measure the waist circumference. After measuring the waist circumference, we used it to prepare the waistband, and the waistband is 2 3/4, and we folded 1/2 inch inwards, so we are left with 1 3/4. So that's the 1 3/4 we are going to use for the waistband. Okay, so the elastic we are going to use is 1 inch elastic, and that 1 inch elastic we had to measure it. It is giving us 31 inches, while her waist circumference is 41 inches. So we had to remove 10 inches from the waist circumference. So you are going to case it like this. Place it on each other and sew it in a square manner. So after sewing it, put it inside the waistband, and then put the waist of the trouser inside that same waistband. Okay, then you are going to sew it with 1/2 inch all round. So I'm going to use my pin to secure it. Just the way I secure it all round, that is exactly how I am going to sew it. So this is it. I've pinned some part of it, so I'm going to sew it all round. After sewing, I'm going to sew the top. I will bring it and show you. So after sewing, this is how the trouser is looking like. It's looking so perfect. So you can make this and sell, or make for yourself. So let our mannequin wear it for us to see. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you will not miss out on any of our beautiful tutorials. Until I see you in my next video, remain blessed.